Hi, I'm Eilish Moran and I'm playing Judy Garland in the up-and-coming production of End of the Rainbow at the Court Theatre. I was asked to play Judy about a year ago, and initially I said, well, do I have to sing? And they said yes. That was quite daunting for me. But then I've been brought round to the challenge and now I'm doing it all. And I've realised with great coaching that that's been a possibility for me to do, you know, the singing and the acting. Her life was so tumultuous and pretty crazy, and she died very young. She died at 47, although she looked much older because she'd abused her body so much through her life with drugs and alcohol and just the way she lived her life. But I was fascinated by her life. I've read a couple of biographies of her, and with YouTube and the internet you've got so much information that you can just see online. You can see her weddings, you can see her on TV, on her TV show, the Judy Garland show in the 60s. You can see her in interviews when she's drunk, you can see her high on pills on stage, you can see her doing fabulous things, you can see her doing terrible things. And for me, as an actor, that's what I needed, because it's not at the beginning of her life when she was young and perky and gorgeous. It's at the end of her life where she was really tired out, and not in a very good way physically or mentally. She's just come out to her 5th husband in the play where we're setting it, and he's much younger than her, and it's so she's full of love and happiness and thinks everything's going to be okay. But she's also on a tour that actually happened in London in 1968 going into 69, and it was a good and bad tour. It was 6 weeks of her being at the top of the town, or the talk of the town, sorry. And she did well there sometimes, but she was, you know, performing 6 or 7 nights a week, full on from 11 o'clock at night till sort of 3 in the morning. And it was just too much for her. Her body was just so, you know, stuffed by the end basically, that she just couldn't take it, and she couldn't really perform without drugs anymore. So she was taking everything, Ritalin, you know, all sorts of drugs that I've had to, you know, find out what they do to your body, and that's all the research that I have to do as an actor. So it's a great part for me to in-depth look at. I've done a lot of roles in my life. I've been an actor for 30 years professionally. So to get a role like this of a real person, a famous person who's been in the public eye, it's gold really for an actor. And so yeah, it's been a long time. I've been researching her for a whole year. I've been looking at movies, I've been looking at her own films that she's been, you know, Meet Me in St. Louis, Beautiful Easter Parade. They're just fantastic. She was a great dancer, she was a fabulous singer. So I've had to sort of, you know, create my version of Judy, because I'm not Judy and I don't exactly look like Judy, but what I will do and how they will dress me will be what she sort of looked like and how she appeared, and it's just how my acting will come through as the Judy that I will create, you know. There's other performers in the play. There's Mickey Deans, and there's Anthony, who plays the pianist, and there's also a young man who plays several different roles. So it's not just me by myself, which is good. Yeah, and I didn't really know much about Judy before I sort of looked into her doing this role. I knew her from The Wizard of Oz and, you know, films from when she was younger, but I didn't realise what a good actress she was. I didn't realise what a terrible life she'd had. I didn't realise that basically she was on pills from when she was a child. Her mother used to take her to auditions with her sisters in Hollywood, and they'd just go in the back of the car and the mother would pop pills in their mouths to wake them up for auditions, put them to sleep with sleeping pills basically. And then when she got in the movies, then her great talent, which was just huge, they just had her on pills. You know, she was working 14 hours a day, you know, 15 years old, 14 years old, just every day, up, down, and she couldn't even stand up without drugs basically. So it was basically child abuse. It's a terrible, terrible thing to have happened, and she became addicted and she never could really get away from that. She had 3 children. Liza Minnelli is the most famous. She also had Lorna and Joey to Sid Luft, and their stories, you know, you hear about their point of view of their mother. I mean, they adore the mother, they adore Judy, but it also was a terrible life. They basically had to look after Judy at the end, and she didn't have money to feed them. She lost all her money to tax bills, or people ripped her off. She wasn't good with money at all. She used to just buy things all the time, really to compensate, I think, for wanting love in her life, I suppose, for wanting love in her life. Yeah, so sorry, I've just stuffed up, Sam.
Oh. Just keep going.
Okay, sorry, I sort of was
You're doing so well.
I was a bit wibbly wobbly there. So challenges, winners, last year. Yeah, Judy had to sort of compensate for the terrible life she had through buying things, really, and showering things on her children, like clothes and money when she had money, and, you know, holidays and gifts and beautiful things. She adored her children, she loved them so much, but really because she wasn't a whole person in many ways, she couldn't really mother them very well, and in the end they became her mother in many ways. I find her story so tragic and sad. I just think it's appalling, because she really could be quite a monster of a woman, quite a terrible woman, as well as a wonderful woman. She was very conniving, because she, you know, had to hide pills all her life, and all of those things made her quite a manipulative person, but you could also see why. So playing her, you have to find those things within yourself or within other people that you know, and try and make them work within the character. I do really feel for her, so I think I can find a connection with her. And you've also seen people in your own life who may have sort of addictions to things like alcohol, and, you know, use them to get through life. So using other people's sort of problems, I suppose you can see where Judy might be at. It's certainly not an unknown problem these days, you know. So yeah, I've really enjoyed playing her. It's wonderful. We're only halfway through rehearsal, so yeah, I'm still enjoying it.